So, today I want to talk a little bit about journaling and memory and why it's important to keep either a journal or a diary. Um, let's start with the memory part. So, human memory is not really all that impressive. It's not like computer memory at all. I'm sure most of you, being human, probably already know this, but you can't really save things into your brain, at least not sort of little things that you do every day, or sort of little things that happen to you in a day. You can't really save that to your memory like you would on a computer, but you can write it down in a journal and then you can later recall it. And that's important if you're the sort of person who likes to occasionally wonder, where you were like a year ago or something like that. Because, well, let me posit you this one question. Let's think about some date from the last year. Let's think about, let's say, some day in September, the 27th of September. Can you give me the bullet points version of what you did that day? Well, probably not. I can't tell you what I did that day either, even though it's only a couple of months ago, like less than half a year ago. Well, but I have a journal, so I can check out what I did that day. The 27th of September. Alright, let's see. I went for a bicycle ride, and I had a little bit of leg pain before I did that, but somehow riding my bike alleviated the pain. That's great. Then I had to do some brake adjustment on my bike. Apparently they were like a bit off. And then I was writing this school project that I had been working on for a while. So before I didn't really remember at all what I did that day, but now with this, even though this is just a small note of what I did that day, it's still enough. Now I can recall those memories at least a little bit in my head now, even though they were totally lost to me before I read that. So now another way, of course, to sort of save your memories is to take a picture, or take a series of pictures, or make videos. So those two ways are, of course, even better than keeping a journal. But there's a problem, of course, in that usually it takes a bit of time. It takes a bit of concentration to make a video. I mean, I'm making a video right now, and it does take a bit of more concentration than just going about my day normally, or just making a little note in a notebook or something. Or honestly, most of my journals are now on the computer. I sort of keep a sort of a log book of my activities. So. And yeah, it's only on the computer. I don't really use these notebooks much, but occasionally I like to write stuff just by hand. So then I use the notebook. But generally speaking, I just use a log on my computer to sort of just write down my daily activities. Just what did I do that day? What were the highlights of the day? Now, you don't, of course, have to do that every day. I mean, if you want to, you should. If you're like me, and you want to be able to recall specific days, like even from several years ago, then and then once you read that, you do actually remember some of it. So your brain hasn't totally deleted your old memories. It's just sort of not accessible. So it becomes accessible a little bit when you read that note, or the diary entry, or whatever it is that you've created. But maybe you don't want to recall specific days like me. Maybe you just want to know, what did I do, in March of 2019 or something like that. And in that case, you should maybe every weekend or once a month write down the main things that happened to you that month. So that way it's not like a daily thing. You don't have to like write your diary or whatever every day. Because I know that not most people, but I know that many people don't like to just sit down and write down their thoughts and sort of ponder on life, and they just don't feel that they have the time or the necessity or they don't need to do that. At least that's how they feel. But I feel like you can easily get lost in your life if you don't sort of have some guidance from your past. Let's just put it that way. So I feel like it provides value for me to have these notebooks and logs on my computer and stuff like that, where I can read what I did on specific days and specific years and specific months and specific weeks and stuff like that. So, and I can recall what I did. I have a very, I'd say, a photographic memory. So when I read that, I was, riding a bicycle in the rain or something like that, I do recall that day then. not the entire day, but the specific activity that I wrote about. I do recall how it sort of looked like in my head back then. But I don't remember it pretty much at all. If I just think about the date, I don't. It gives me nothing. I mean, it's like literally nothing. I can't think of anything that I did that day before reading the entry. Now maybe if I thought about it really, really, really hard for a while, then I might be able to visualize something. But yeah, I mean, I do think that and now that I actually have these notes and stuff, I could actually try to do that and then see if it corresponds to reality in my that I wrote down that day. But yeah, I mean, people's memories aren't that good, so you need to keep some sort of a journal. Even if you're young and you have good memory, like I'm relatively young, so I feel like I have a good memory, but it's not that good. even good memory for a human being, it's not that good. So I feel like there's a lot of value in journaling your experiences. Just you don't have to write anything super interesting in the diary or whatever, because people do stuff that's interesting to them. They I went to the store and I bought this new, whatever it is. I tried this new juice in the store or whatever, or I bought some new type of ice cream and it was delicious or something like that. It doesn't have to be anything great. It doesn't have to be I went to see a fireworks show or whatever. It doesn't have to be something like that. Just write down what you did. I wrote down that I rode my bicycle. It doesn't have to be spectacular. Just sort of. It's good to have a personal history. This is what I'm sort of looking to say, because it's if you don't understand even your own history, or you can't remember it, then how can you make good decisions in the future? So I feel like there's a lot of hidden value in diaries and journals and stuff, and you should write one. I will keep writing one. I didn't write one when I was younger, and now I regret it a lot, because I sort of wonder, what was I doing when I was 14 years old, and I sort of vaguely remember some stuff that I did, but I really wish that I could recall specific memories of specific days, and I mostly can't. And it's really unfortunate because I'd like to be able to do that, and of course now I recognize that, and that's why I keep a journal. So I don't want to be thinking the same way in, like, let's say 10 years time, and I recommend that everyone else keeps a journal too. So yeah, that's about it for this video. It was just a little rant about journals. It's not really life changing, I guess, but I feel like it's the sort of thing that most people don't really think about seriously, especially like these days when you have all these sort of electronic tools. Like you can sort of see your history on YouTube or whatever, and I feel like most people don't really think about their personal history in the same way, but they should.